Hi everyone, welcome to How Ines Rolls. I'm so excited to bring you another freezer meal, and this time it's going to be called Creamy Chicken Cilantro Taquitos. Let's get started. So I've had this recipe for a little while and I haven't made it, but I made something similar. So about a month ago, I made my Tex-Mex egg rolls, which I will link the video here. And it is so good. I mean, I love the flavor, it's awesome. And so what I decided to do was just put them in corn tortillas and roll them up. So that's an option for that recipe. But this recipe, I love cilantro very much. Now, I know some people are not fans. Let me know in the comments if you're the person who thinks it tastes like soap. Did you know that's a thing? Something with your taste buds and like your DNA and all that jazz will make it so that your brain senses dish soap. And in my case, it's like, bring it on, let's eat more of this cilantro. So I'll make up for all the friends who don't like it. But this recipe is going to have cilantro in it, so I knew I had to make it. So this right here was from the live. If you didn't see that, it's below in the video. So I think it was just the one before. And so let me show you what I did right here. So yesterday I cooked about 6 or 7 chicken breasts in a crock pot, and I didn't add too much. I just added a little bit of a sodium-free bouillon that I have, just like I sprinkled it on top, and you probably don't even have to do that either. And I cooked it, and I cut them into I shredded it up, so I knew I was making this recipe, but I made a lot. I said I made 7 chicken breasts. So I had about 2 extra cups in which I added to my recipe here. So that's a suggestion if you're going to think ahead about what you're going to make for the week. Cook your chicken in bulk, put it in freezer bags, put them in the freezer, and then all you have to do is pull them out. Like this would make perfect chicken tacos. This could be perfect into pasta. Casseroles, hello, just add it. I just put it in 3 cups, and so that's what gave me 2 meals. So this is going to be ready for the taquitos, as I'm just getting everything ready now. So the first thing I have to do is soften some cream cheese. So I'm just gonna soften up some cream cheese and then just start adding everything together. So while this is going, I just wanted to say I was sorry to you guys because I wasn't able to upload a video on Wednesday or Friday. And if you were at my live, then I explained that I wasn't able to. Like, I use my Apple phone to make my videos, which I'm so grateful that I get to do that. But somehow Apple did an update and my iMovie did not work. So hopefully everything is back to normal. And if not, I might have to be a big girl and go get a vlogger camera. Ooh. Okay, so I am already my softened cream cheese. Now I will tell you one mistake already in this recipe. It says to soften it for 2 minutes in the microwave. Don't do that unless I read that wrong. 30 seconds and you're good. Okay, so you'll hear it even popping and stuff. So I'm just gonna add my 3 cups of shredded chicken. Now you can use rotisserie, whatever you have, or, just like I suggested, make it easy for yourself. Cook up a whole bag of chicken breasts that are frozen in your crock pot, whatever you can fit. Shred it up, put it in baggies, and think about what you can make during the week as a go-to. So that's a little tip. Sometimes I do that. So I'm just going to get this going in here. I also need for this recipe some salsa verde. Now, if you just have it in the jar, by all means use that. I don't, because we tend to not be huge salsa eaters, only Paul. But look at this nice little can. So 7 ounces, I only need about a little more than half of this can. And I am going to measure that out right now. And I may freeze the rest for future recipes. So this is great. Now the recipe also calls for pepper jack cheese, I believe. Now I don't have pepper jack cheese. My kids probably won't eat that, but I have plenty of cheddar. Monterey Jack would be perfect as well. So I'm going to get this all going, and I'm going to show you some of the spices that will be in here too. Okay, so for this recipe, I also will add some onion, some chili, cumin, and garlic. Now their exact measurements will be on the recipe card at the end of the video, but I also cannot forget lime juice and cilantro. As I am putting in all of these seasonings, it's definitely cumin that gives it that Mexican food flair to me. I don't know. I love cumin in soups and also other Mexican recipes, my favorite. So let me know if you use a lot of cumin, or do you just purchase like the taco seasoning packs? Because I make my own taco seasoning, and literally it's just having these kinds of things put in there, and then I know exactly what's in the recipe. So I have that, which I will link below or maybe up in here, the recipe to my taco seasoning. And it's funny because I put it in a video for homemade brownies. They must have been taco flavored. Just kidding. It's also a very good recipe. So I'm just gonna get some of this cilantro in. I love the smell of this. It's so good to me. In fact, I just had some with my lunch. And I know like parsley and cilantro are good for your digestion. So bring it to me, but I understand if you don't like it. So of course, omit it. You can just use, like I said, the Tex-Mex recipe. It'll still be so good. So I'm just trying to chop them up into smaller pieces. And of course, my better knife is in the dishwasher. And then we cannot forget lime juice. So we're gonna put 2 tablespoons. And then I'm gonna give this a good mix. Now, I should have remembered to do this, but you can see that my bowl is getting a little full. So what I should have done is put my spices, all of my flavors in the cream cheese, mixed it in, and then added everything like the chicken. That way you get a better coating, but I was just trying to follow the recipe. So, time to mix. Okay, so I just gave it a little bit of a sniff test because I wanted to smell to see if it was needing anything. Smells delicious, but I just added some salt and pepper, a little bit more lime juice, and a tiny little bit left of this salsa verde. So I just wanted to add a little bit more because I do want it to be moldable. So it's got like a wetter consistency so it will stay in the tortillas. And I think this is plenty of cilantro for my family. If it was just me, I probably would add more. But now you can see I've mixed in, you can see some of that cream cheese. Now, if it doesn't get all the way mixed in, I kind of think of that as like a present to me. So creamy, so yummy. And I think this is now ready. So what I'm gonna do is get my corn tortillas and just pop them in the microwave for like 20 seconds or so, just to soften them up. And then that way they'll roll much easier. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just line a cookie sheet. You can put parchment paper because we're putting these in the freezer. So I'm not gonna even bake them. So I'm just gonna prep them. Now here's the secret with freezing taquitos is you don't want them to touch. So you're gonna have to spread them out a little bit. So I might need to get a second pan depending on how full they get. It says it'll make 15. So I'm just going to do this. Now, I'm in awe of people who like do homesteading. And I loved watching YouTube videos of like women who were like, you know, doing husbandry and, you know, everything from scratch and baking bread and stuff. And so one of these women that I was following was like growing her own fruit, and that's how she froze her fruit as well. She didn't like, she'd get all her berries and she'd spread them out after she rinsed them, put them in the freezer, and then when they were done freezing, she would put them in a baggie, and so that way they weren't touching. Oh, perfect, right? So kind of like the same idea with the taquitos. So let me get them out. Okay, I just put like a wet paper towel on top. I'm not trying to cook them. I'm just trying to get them to be a little bit warm so that they will roll and not break. So seems like they're ready. All we're gonna do is do 2 tablespoons. And it'll be so easy. Now I got the king size tortillas just because I think that those are so yummy. And but you know what? You can use little mini ones. That's totally fine. Look, I'm starting to break. Let me reheat them a little bit. Okay, my tortillas are much better. I had to redo them for another minute and kind of flip them a little. So they're much softer to roll. So we're just going to put 2 tablespoons and then roll it up. So I'm going to bring you closer to show you more of this process. So it's been a couple hours. I made a bunch of pancakes because I also put those in the freezer for my kids for breakfast. And I like to do those on the weekend so they have stuff to eat during the week. But here they are. They are frozen now. So look, you can hear it. So put them in freezer baggies. But of course, I ran out. So I have plenty of these like foil tins. So I'm just going to line them up. Get a piece of foil because I can guarantee they won't last more than a week. Just because I think we'll have them for dinner sometime in the next few days. And you're going to write on there the directions, just like you would write on the bag. So you're going to cook them at about 425 for about 15 minutes. It says in the recipe 425, but I like to do mine a little bit less so then I can cook them longer if I feel like, rather than cook them at the higher temperature and then have them burn quickly. So whatever you feel comfortable with, but I am going to write that information right on here. And you just put the little spray on a pan, a little salt, a little teeny bit of salt. You don't have to do that either. So I'm just gonna stack them in here and I can't wait to have them. So if you are following me on Facebook at How Ines Rolls or Instagram, I'll probably be posting what I think about these, but I can already tell because I tasted a little bit of the meat mixture. So good, okay? So I know we're gonna love them, but I'll be posting on there too. So I'm loving some of these freezer meals. I hope you are too. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any. I know Lisa, she made that beef Lombardi, and I've had a couple of you let me know some of the recipes that you're trying too. So I'm so grateful for all of you. I love making these recipes for you, for your family. If it's just you and your friends, let me know because I think it's such a compliment, and my kids are loving these taquitos as well. So stick around. You just never know what I'll be rolling out next. Maybe another freezer meal.